Okay, attaching your flies to the traces. Simple long line hook through there. Bring your tag back, you don't need a lot hanging over. Just fold it down the side and then wrap back towards the base of the fly. 5 or 6 times as heaps. Back up through there. Pull it tight and there you have it. The big advantage of that, it's an easy knot to do, but you put the nylon up the head of the fly and that gives you some extra protection against any sharp toothy critters. If you want to put a float on, you can put a float on there. Yeah, left myself enough room. And then we tie on the clip. I put the fly in the trace so I can get it all measured up. Pull this back, allow it a good inch because the knot's going to stretch when it tightens up. Just a uni knot, 5 or 6 turns and you're good to go. Just moisten the knot, pull it up tight, crank it down and there you go. It should be just a nice tight stretch. And if you do use that bit of extra nylon, it gives you something good to crank up on and away you go. And that's your trace. The float will come down with your bait. The theory is that'll lift it off the bottom, keep it away from the crabs. But yeah, as we usually know, crabs will swim, so they'll still come up and get it. But the more floats you put on there, the higher that's going to lift. If you're just going to put some of these out in the current to swim round, put your line through your float 2 or 3 times, just thread it through over and over, and that'll hold the float in position. So you might find that your float's away from your bait, or your fly, if it's just sitting there, it's lost all its bait, that'll come up and then that'll swim naturally that way. And that's all there is to it. No real secret tricks, just getting your length of your line correct is the hard part, but with practice you soon learn how much line you actually need to tie on a trace. So we'll do that again. Hook goes up underneath, it's only a 1/2 inch tag. Fold it down so it lines up with the end of your thread, hold it in position and then wrap it back down the thread. Doesn't matter whether you go through 5, 6, 7 times, it'll come out. And again, the main thing is that thread protects the head, so that's just a good advantage. And that's on tight, it's not coming off. If you want to put your plastic tube on, put it on at that stage. Thread it through, line it up there. And then I just finish off with a uni knot. But you need a good inch for that knot to slide up. I try and give at least 5 twists. Yeah, sometimes there's 6, sometimes there's 4. Whichever way you go, they seem to work. I don't tie a lot of different knots. I use this one knot pretty much for everything, regardless of what I'm fishing for. And then give it a stretch. That's a tight one. It's a bigger clip. It's not off this rack. So there it is. Pull it up tight. Slide your knot back. Give it a crank. And you're good to go. You've got your plastic tube on, which will keep it straight. And yeah, you're not going to lose it. And as you can see, it doesn't take too long you start to fill up your rack and you're in business.